Want to talk about this? Some people are saying that they think that I might be a bad friend to Greedo because on the 1090 Jake interview, we were having a conversation about the snitching allegation thing, right? And I acknowledged that I originally was hit up by the people who have made it their mission to expose him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to them, if you got paperwork, I can't be the one to review it. I don't do this. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's not really my game. I'm not trying to be the snitch certifier or anything like that. I told them, if you want to talk to somebody who does that, I can put you in touch with 1090 Jake. That's it. That's why I acknowledged on the podcast. And some people are looking at that and saying like, well, that's you doing Greedo dirty. I said, no, that actually is me giving the people who are attempting to do him dirty, or just to do him, depending on who you want to believe, that's gonna, like, I was putting them in the position.
Did you put them in contact with 1090J?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Why is that fucked up?
I'm telling you, that was
Don't
fucked
you
up.
think snitching is bad?
Bro,
So if his name is going to be cleared or not cleared, I put him in touch with 1090J.
They said as a friend. Now, if it's a random person, yeah, but like as my homie, I'm not trying to point nobody in the direction of somebody that can fuck up anything, even though it didn't. But it did kind of like pull a rug under his feet when he was just fresh out.
My thing is, if he didn't do it, he deserves the right to be cleared of that, right?
Yeah, but even
who's
if
doing the clearing? It's 1090 Jake. He's the judge, jury, and executioner.
With Duty Low? Remember Duty Low? Whatever it did, the bitch said, "Oh, you touched this," and it didn't happen, but it still fucked up him for a very long time. Like so, it's like I get it. He's clear, he's good, but it put him in a bad situation for a minute. And you know, if you judge the logistics of these situations, a lot of people don't make it out, whether it's proven or not. Once that's attached to your name, it fucks you up.
But the thing is that I don't think that there's anything wrong with putting the person who had this paperwork in touch with somebody who basically can prove or disprove or offer a legitimate opinion on the paperwork.
That's your opinion, but as a group of homies, I would have told you not to do it. They ain't got shit. You're
right. At that moment, so, like, I wasn't really thinking of it as like, oh, this is my best friend. Because the truth is would I do that to you? If it was somebody having paperwork about Dub or Brick, I would probably say, I don't want anything to do with it. Like, just don't. I can't talk about it.
If somebody hit me with some shit like that, honestly, first thing I'm gonna do is call you and say, this nigga is saying this bullshit. What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
that would have been fair too. I guess at this point, Greedo had been out for like 4 or 5 months, and I hadn't spoke to him, so that was kind of making me feel like
you don't know. What's
I didn't really
on.
like feel like I owed him that since he had been out for a minute and I hadn't seen him or talked to him.
No, I get it, but
that's what I was about to say. It all depends on how the fucking with. Like, are you really his homeboy? Like, are they? Because at the end of the day, No Jumper is for content and for whatever it is. Like, how locked in are you? Was you every day in? Was y'all?
No. It's just this is what it comes down to. Some people, like me myself, I ain't got to see you for 5 years.
Yeah.
I ain't got to see you for 5 years. You ain't got. You could be rich as fuck right now, but I know when I see you.
Yeah, no, it's love.
I know, guarantee. I ain't know it's nothing less.
This ain't,
and I'm gonna think that even though if it's something different.
Yeah. No, this ain't me and you though. This is
but I'm just saying, like,
world.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Hold on. And I ain't trying to stand in the middle because it's like at the end of the day, if a nigga tell it need to be exposed, right? But Greedo, my homeboy, I wouldn't get involved with it. You see, I do like as least talking about it as I can when it was even going on. Because it's like, all right, I've been knowing you. I know your brother. I know, you know what I'm saying? I've been knowing Greedo since we got songs from way back that we never dropped. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I know you from before the rap cracked off. Maybe I wouldn't have did it. But like he said, they kicked it a couple times.
No, you're right. You're right. I get what you're saying.
Before he got locked up, we really were like close, and we were talking all the time. I was going to the shows, going to the studio with him. I remember at the what's the motherfucker Mike's spot, me, you, and Greedo that one night.
Yeah.
I guess my thing was when I got hit up about this, the reason why I just put them in contact with 1090 was because I hadn't spoke to Greedo really since he had got out. Well, actually, we had a few little text conversations and shit, but I wasn't really feeling like we were on that level. I felt like if this shit is out there, then he deserves a fair shake. But to me, 1090 Jake is somebody that's giving people a fair shake. Like, he's reviewing paperwork. I haven't seen him put anybody out there and act like they were guilty or act like they were fucked up and have it not be true. I feel like he's somebody who's committed to the truth. And by the time I got done doing the interview with Greedo where we spoke about all this, then I all of a sudden felt like, oh, right, like we're real friends. Like maybe I shouldn't have even done that or whatever. I still don't think there was anything wrong with it because at the end of the day, if snitching is so bad, then it deserves to be called out.
You're right.
You know?
You're right about that. You're right about that. You very much. The only part was connecting them with the Jake nigga. Look, just say, hey, you got to, Jake do that. I don't. That's it. When you put the nigga in the group message,
I gave him the phone number.
but like you my boy, so I can think both ways. You my boy. On the other end,
That's
like you right, because between getting out in that interview, y'all wasn't that close.
Right, we hadn't really got a chance to
having that interview and him getting out, y'all wasn't that close. Now it's like, okay, now.
And you got to think he did $1 million worth of game.
And the brown bag and a couple other ones and bootleg Kev.
That's why I'm like, look, you got to think. That's why I'm like, so when it comes to the fast, but I mean, it's like you got to value certain relationships. You got to value.
All right, let's just air everything out. All right, let's just air everything.
Yeah, because see, I
wasn't thinking about cracking this shit open like this. But Greedo and I had a conversation when he first was on house arrest in Texas or whatever. This is the shit that we didn't say in his interview because it's a little bit hurtful to me. You know, I don't really like taking my pride and putting it out on display for the people out there. But we had a conversation. He said I was going to be his first interview. He was at South by Southwest. He didn't do any interviews, I believe.
You guys,
you cracked it open. Bro. You cracked the egg. All right, but so he was at South by Southwest. I think he might have not done any interviews at South by Southwest because he was holding out for the No Jumper interview.
Yeah.
But then when he comes to LA, when he really makes his big reemergence and everything, old 22 is caught up in a firestorm of being canceled and a bunch of people leaving the channel and Rolling Stone writing defamatory hit pieces calling me a racist.
Shout out
now,
Stone.
do I? No, that's not what you're supposed to say. Shout out your ops while we're at it. I'm not going to say their names, but
I'm talking shit, bro.
He comes back in the middle of all this. Now, do I think that Greedo necessarily cares about those dudes leaving the channel? Do I think that he gives a shit about somebody calling me racist? Probably not, but he has a team around him. He's got managers. He's got agents. He got whoever. I would assume that when I see him go and he does the Brown Bag podcast or whatever on the radio, that was an idea that was put into his head by them. Now, I can't really like hold that against him. At the end of the day, he's looking out for his career. No Jumper probably seemed a little bit toxic to him at the time. He's coming out of prison. He don't know what the fuck is going on. He don't know who's hot, who's not. He got to listen to people around him. Yeah. So it was with that mentality and the fact that he didn't just do the Brown Bag. He did, Big Boy, $1 million worth of game, and Bootleg Kev.
Everything, but
he did all those ones before he came to do No Jumper. So that was the mentality that I was in because we hadn't done the No Jumper one yet. When I got hit up about his paperwork, I said, I'll put you in contact with 1090 Jake. I was feeling kind of like, well, what am I looking out for him for when I felt like he, I wasn't mad, but I also felt like, I took that as a little bit of a sign of like, oh, okay, I guess we aren't buddy, which is always hard to tell.
You gave him respect too by not putting it out. I ain't even gonna lie. It was respect by you not putting it out. Because like, I ain't gonna lie, some shit be like, bro, why did they put like, I think even when the Draco shit, it was like some shit that No Jumper was putting out, like, bro, why are y'all putting that
after he passed?
I don't know. I passed before. Yeah, after he passed. I just feel like it was, or before. It was just something. He like, why would you be like, bro?
Most of the social media posts go up without me knowing about it, so I probably didn't even know what it was. But definitely, like that shit situation happens as well, where it's like some shit. The Ali Lottie, Juice WRLD's ex-girlfriend. There's a couple different times where I had to jump in front of that and be like, listen, me and Juice were super tight. I don't really feel good about us posting articles about whatever's going on with his girl. But then at a certain point, his ex-girl, it's like there's so much shit building up that it's like I can't really like expect the news team to not post about shit that is real news that everybody's talking about, that everybody's involved with when that shit's going on. It's like the same thing with me. When every single media outlet on earth is talking about me and my girl and the BBC situation.
Everybody and their mama still talking about it.
I would sound crazy if I jumped in front of that with every single person.
Talking about my
I didn't like this one adjective that you used. You described his dick as big and girthy, and you said, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna sound crazy trying to get in the way of some real news in the same way that, like, Greedo, I don't think he felt like he could just get mad at every single outlet that was talking about his case, or not even his case, but the accusations or whatever. He can't just
Greedo
get
don't
mad
think
at
like
every
that.
single person for talking about that.
He don't think like that. I be with him enough. He not sitting right here like, oh, fuck this person, fuck that person. He more so just on some like, these niggas playing with my name.
Yeah.
And not even saying these niggas as the outlet, just like, nah, they not about to play. I did too much. You not about to play. He's not mad. Like, he not one of the people I'm mad at. No, I'm mad at the fucking driver, the fucking nigga that's running around saying it, that's put this out. Not the platform, not the network.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta expect all the platforms to pick that shit up once it come out, though. Or
Doubt that he even watched any of them fucking interviews,
but
bro.
The paperwork was going around before 1090 Jake even got to it. The statement had surfaced before 1090 Jake made the video.
And that usually will be the case, is that a lot of times it feels like him or whoever, like
he's the
big
most,
platform that they break it off.
Yeah.
They break it open, but realistically, it's usually floating around on Clubhouse.
He just be having me down when he be like, okay, like a nigga be like, this it. Then they prove it. Then he come back and unprove it. Like,
yeah. That's why I'm like, shit. But at the end of the day, like I said, when I seen the paperwork, is that a police statement or is that a signed statement, or do they have a recording of that, of him saying exactly that? Because the police can say whatever when they take their statement.